Welcome to another episode of Primo Talks. When it comes to life, you got to have those people around you who have those gifts and talents like you have in order for you to implement those things, so you know that the things that you're doing is moving you towards those goals, those dreams, those realities that you saw in your life. This is not the time for you to take a step back. It's a time for you to be teleported. This is a place where you can actually get the information that you need that you can implement today. Let's talk. One of the most powerful things you can do is to learn what it is when you become an entrepreneur or you decide that you're thinking about starting a business. You need to make sure that these factors are always present in your mind. For example, let's jump right into it. The most valuable asset in investing is time. Whenever you're going to invest in yourself to get a college degree, it takes time. Whenever you're going to invest into learning how to train a dog, it takes time. Whenever you're going to learn a new skill, it takes time. That is the most valuable skill that you have to, so don't get in a rush. This is probably one of the things that I had to learn to really manage the concept in my mind of time properly. Because if you don't manage that properly, you'll give yourself less time, and that is your greatest asset. It's the most valuable thing you have because it allows you to be able to function with a factor that's beyond an assumption. Now remember, concepts and assumptions are starting points. You got an assumption and you got a concept for that assumption. That's a starting point. But what is the most valuable thing you have when you are new to anything? Or even if you are not new, you've been in your business for a while. Let's say you've been in business for 5 or 10 years. You must understand that the natural motivation of your thought process is to speed everything up. The most valuable thing you can do is slow everything down, at least when it comes to the next part of this. Keys to successful operations. We all need to understand that there are some keys. Key number 1 is allocating enough money to the venture. Do I have enough money, especially if you're starting off and you started this business and you had previous debt obligations in your personal life? Do I have enough to meet these previous debt obligations? And do I have enough in order to utilize the product and service for that expansion? If the answer is no, you got time. Don't start now. 2, understanding how the company makes money. The most important thing that you can always remember is how do you make money? Not how do you get the venture started, but when it comes to dollars and cents, pounds and pence, when it comes to that, how do I make money? Because at the end of the day, companies fail because of lack of money. And if they had money to start off in the venture, they lack refurbishing that cash by being able to sell that product or service in exchange for cash to continue the business. And number 3, your product or your service price must be reasonable. This is one of the things that I have noticed, that if you get it wrong when it comes to allocating enough money for the venture, and then you don't understand how you can make money, your prices are not reasonable. If your product is niche, it means very few people. And if you don't know how to allocate funds and receive the money for the short amount of people that you're going to deal with, it's going to affect you financially. Is your product for a niche business, which means you're shrinking down from dealing with this many people to dealing with this many people? Second, if my product and service is not for the masses, and I'm struggling with my products and services, and my prices are not reasonable when it's for the masses. Let me give an example. There are certain stores that they call boutique stores. You see them in some outlet malls, you see them inside malls, the people who still go to malls. You'll notice that there are certain stores that have a high price point.